So let's talk more SnyderVerse and why the SnyderVerse isn't going anywhere. It is only getting stronger and stronger. It has overtaken Endgame for the biggest tweeted hashtag being restored the SnyderVerse, even more than Avengers Endgame. And also, we're going to go back over parts of the Ann Cernoff article which do not make any sense. So, yo, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the future of the SnyderVerse and also the future of the DCEU. So if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu. That'd be much appreciated. Also check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, and also on Instagram at Warstu. You can see the face behind the voice. So the Ann Cernoff damage control article was pretty interesting, allegedly. We've got to say that. Pretty interesting. Why? Well, because this article was written before they even got the numbers for how well the Snyder Cut did. Did you notice how there was no praise of the numbers it did at all? When you look at the numbers now and multiple sources have looked at it, it's actually looking like it smashed WandaVision, it smashed Falcon the Winter Soldier, it smashed Wonder Woman 1984, because we've looked at past 3 days now, and you got to understand, Wonder Woman 1984 is a 2-hour movie, so you're more likely to watch a 2-hour movie than a 4-hour movie, and also it was released on Christmas Day when more people were at work. We might be in the middle of a pandemic, but let's be honest, most people are back at work, aren't they? So it's interesting. It really is interesting how there was no mention of praising Snyder about how the movie did. And also, the article is very misleading because Ann Cernoff makes out it was her and Walter Hamada and Toby Emmerich that greenlit the Zack Snyder Justice League, and that is factually incorrect. It was AT&T. Cernoff explained, "We wanted to give Zack the opportunity to complete his vision. No, you didn't. In a 4-hour movie, which is impossible to do in theaters. No, it isn't, because they're having movies that have been 4 hours long. Endgame was 3 hours. There's been multiple movies at 3.5 hours. So this could have easily been possible to be in the theaters if there wasn't a pandemic, if you wanted to. We are happy that we have HBO Max to let the rope out, as it were, and allow the fans to see all the 4 hours of Zack's vision." There's so much incorrectness in this statement. And then later on in the article, it goes on about the trilogy. And I'm thinking, Ann Cernoff, behave. Everyone knows there's 5 parts to this. This was never a trilogy. This was always a 5 parts. So it was AT&T that came in. AT&T came in and said, "Yo, Warner Media, Warner Bros, it's happening. It's happening." And that's pretty much how it went down. So the narrative that they're trying to double down and make out that Walter Hamada was the person that greenlit it, it can say that all it wants, but everyone knows that that is not the case. It really isn't the case. Because if this was the case, then Warner Bros, Warner Media would have greenlit it years ago. Yes, I know that AT&T bought them out in 2016, but that is such a false narrative. And this article is pure damage control. It is a literal damage control and backing up and praising. I mean, post Snyder Cut coming out, you start praising Walter Hamada. Walter was recently promoted. I'm fully of support of Toby and Walter and their visions. I truly believe they are great executives. Walter happens to be a person of color, so he knows what it feels like. He's bringing in diversity voices at an accelerated pace, more than anyone has in the past. Okay, that's cool. And I'm really looking forward to a Latino Supergirl. I really, really can't wait for that. But anyone could have done that, really. Praising. Where is the why this article is so factually incorrect? Before we even get onto the tea, is you didn't praise Zack Snyder on the release of his movie because that article was done before the official numbers came out, and they were pushing this agenda well before. They wanted this movie to do bad to the point where somehow it leaked on HBO Max, but all that did was actually amplified everything. So the SnyderVerse will live on. I'm pretty much one of the only people that will say it out loud that has somewhat of audience. It will live on. Now, we did a video on this already, breaking this down a few days ago now on the 23rd of March, which was received well, but there's still some absolute confusion going on. So Warner Bros has lack of interest apparently. Yeah, I'm hearing that Jason Keller actually is ecstatic. He's really happy with the numbers. He really is happy with what the numbers did. Now, it's very weird that no official numbers have been published by Warner Brothers, Warner Media, HBO. There's no numbers out there at all. Is there? No. That is very weird. So I've heard from multiple sources that Warner Media CISO Jason Keller, who is actually in charge, is ecstatic with how this is going, how it went. But something that's very weird is Jason Keller wasn't quoted. There's no quote. He's not said anything. But you got to understand it from his point of view. He's in control of Warner Media, Warner Bros, HBO Max. He's the person like Kevin Feige in a way who's trying to keep everything and everyone happy. No, he's not directly involved in storylines and stuff. That's Jim Lee when it comes to DC properties. But Variety didn't reach out to him. No one reached out to him. Warstu tried to reach out to him, but I've got a very small reach, and let's be honest, I didn't get a response. So I did try and reach out to him, but he didn't reply to me. But it's neither here or there, because let's be honest, why would he respond to me? So as far as I know, this SnyderVerse will continue, but it's gonna take some time because of the drama that surrounds the whole Warner Media situation. It's like there's a civil war between Warner Media, HBO Max, and Warner Bros, but technically they're all ran by the same person, but independently they've got other people like Walter Hamada in charge of DC Films, and Anna Cernoff's in charge of services, and then Jason's essentially the bosses of everyone else. But realistically, they're lying about who greenlit the Snyder Cut. It was AT&T who greenlit everything. Now, what it seems to me is HBO Max does want the SnyderVerse to continue, and it's gotten worse because of this Anna Cernoff interview, because there's lots of people inside Warner Bros, Warner Media who want this, and there's lots of people who are against the idea, even though from a business logistic point of view, it makes sense. It really does make a lot of sense, even with how popular it's been. Regardless of the Restore the Snyderverse tags, they are cool. The numbers do not lie. Zack and Zack Snyder's SnyderVerse was always a problem for some specific people at Warner Bros and Warner Media. Warner Bros rep kept on pleading with Zack not to do more interviews with YouTubers. Apparently that's been causing a stir. Then there was the whole, YouTube incident. So there is like a civil war in between the whole company, which is very interesting, because you got to remember that AT&T purchased Time Warner back in 2016 for reportedly $85.4 billion. And the deal didn't officially go through to 2018 yet. You've got Ann Cernoff saying, yeah, we greenlit this. No, if you greenlit this, you would have literally spoke to Zack and said, Zack, you can come back, do your cut when everything's good with the family and when you've dealt with that, etc. But they didn't. So this false narrative, and you've got to think about it. Like, there's three different companies in play here. You've got Warner Media, Warner Bros, HBO Max, and the branding's pretty weird. The branding is really weird because you've got like the Suicide Squad movie with James Gunn coming out, and Warner Media, Warner Bros are all behind that. Yet you got the Zack Snyder Justice League that has made them a bunch of money because they've had deals all over Europe with Sky, and Sky must have paid a lot of money because Sky don't do anything for free, and it was on Sky Cinema. Yet they didn't push the Zack Snyder Justice League out till the last second, the last literal second. So it seems they want to push this narrative. The Flash movie is going to change everything. The Flash movie was supposed to be out 5 years ago, but you can have multiple Batmans in the Flash movie, multiple Supermans, yet you can't have a concurrent Snyderverse when they're trying to introduce the multiverse in the Flash movie, if anyone knows anything about what is going on. So as far as we know, there is definitely the Snyderverse is continuing. There's a literal civil war. Hate to use the Marvel pun, but there is a civil war in there, but the people at top want it. They're not happy with what Ann Cernoff is saying, but at the end of the day, it's a company, it's a business. It's not a playground argument. So this will come, but it's going to take a long time for this to actually come. And I wouldn't keep going on record saying I know it's coming. I've been hearing a lot of stuff, but the Snyderverse will exist on HBO Max. And if Warner Media and Warner Bros had any common sense, they would release it theatrically, because you could charge a lot of money for a 4-hour movie, but don't be expecting Justice League 2 to come soon. What they should do, and what I'm hearing rumblings is, the Batman movie, the David Ayer's Suicide Squad cut, will be coming, at least the Suicide Squad cut of David Ayer's movie, after James Gunn's movie, because it'd be very weird if you get James Gunn cut first, and then the Ayer cut is coming, from what I hear. And the people that tell me this, the direct sources I'm hearing this from, they're too close to get things wrong. So this might take time, and yes, I keep getting called out and stuff like that, but people said, yo, Warstu, the Zack Snyder Justice League movie, it's never coming. Back in 2017, you go on my YouTube channel and look, when I said it was coming, and it came. It might have taken a long time, and no, I wasn't the first person to say it, but don't you think it's a bit suspicious how the Snyderverse tags are going viral, and yet all of a sudden you're getting random castings for all these DC properties? Randomly drops the Suicide Squad trailer when August is 5 months away, and it might be theatrical release. The world's not going back to normal, so it's basically a streaming movie. You don't promote a streaming movie 5 months before it comes out. Look at Godzilla vs. Kong. They literally started promoting that with trailers maybe 2 months before it came out, so it wasn't needed. Warner Bros are they're just trying to bury the Snyder Cut. Justice Gray comes out, it goes viral again. 1.5 million tweets in a day. That is more than anything. But as long as Jason Keeler is on board, then the Justice League 2 will be coming. The Batman movie with Joe Manganiello, with Jared Leto, will be coming. Henry Cavill Superman. All the information I've been speaking about on the channel for the past year, it is correct. It's just going to take time because, as I keep saying, there is an internal battle going on between the individual companies inside the studios. Because obviously, yes, Jason is the honcho. Jason can override everyone, but he's not going to employ people like Ann Sernoff. He's going to keep overriding what she says. So things will come, guys. It's just going to take a time. Ann Sernoff was essentially hired to make the Flash movie from her own explanation. She's come in to make everything connect and intertwine and have the TV shows and the games and the movies all connect. So that is literally the SnyderVerse. You can have a SnyderVerse timeline. You can have whatever there is post Snyder Cut. But let's be honest, Shazam was post Snyder Cut and there was BVS merchandise in it. So it's pretty funny when everything is linked to Zack Snyder, even if you don't like that. I mean, The Flash, which is going to reboot everything, allegedly. And yet again, Ezra Miller was cast by who? Yes, cast by Zack Snyder. So the narrative is the Snyderverse will continue. There is huge conversations going on daily at the moment inside Warner Media, HBO Max, and pretty much. But it is interesting how now you're all of a sudden getting details for Justice League 2 and Justice League 3, and Zack keeps saying stuff because things are already out there. And people know exactly what's coming and people want it. And you can set this narrative that the Snyderverse and Snyder Cut people are toxic. Yeah, I'm getting random people who I've not spoke to in years asking me about this movie. And yes, this false narrative has been going on for a long time. The Flash movie will erase the Snyderverse from canon, but it can't. It really can't. You know why? Because Ben Affleck's in it and he was cast by Zack. Ezra Miller cast by Zack. So unless you're going to completely change everything, and it's not obviously the Flashpoint movie where Reverse Flash has to kill Nora Allen again in order to set the timeline straight. So guys, just chill. I get so many questions about this kind of stuff daily. Now, I can't go in depth. I have so much more information about what's going on behind the scenes, but I'm not allowed to say exactly what I know. So I've only told you exactly what I can say at the moment. But just chill, guys. The fluff piece about JJ bringing out a Superman who crushed the Star Wars universe and destroyed Star Wars allegedly. Yeah, there's going to be multiple Batmans. There's going to be multiple Supermans, but there is going to be a Snyderverse. Now, the narrative is funny because The Rock wants Henry Cavill in Black Adam, and The Rock gets what he wants. He's the biggest star on planet, pretty much. He's the biggest dude in Hollywood. So you really think whatever JJ's doing with Superman is going to affect Henry Cavill? No chance. So hopefully this clears up a bunch of things, guys. DC Films going forward is going to be, if it's going to be connected, the Snyderverse exists. If it's not going to be connected, it's going to be disconnected, just conjoint, and then the Snyderverse won't continue. But either way, guys, like I say, if I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong, but I'm just telling you exactly what I know, and this is coming from the same people that told me the Snyderverse was coming and the Zack Snyder Justice League movie was coming straight to HBO Max 6 months before it happened, and I was talking about it well before then. So like always, guys, let me know everything down below. If you think I'm lying, let me know, but be civil, and I'll have a conversation in the comment section down below, guys. But as far as I know, Justice League 2 is coming. The Batman, Ben Affleck, Joe Manganiello, and Deathstroke is also coming, and we will get other things like Henry Cavill, Man of Steel 2. So much is coming, but it all rides on decisions inside Warner Media. There's definitely a camp inside Warner Media that wants it, and then there's the old regime like Toby and Walter who don't want it. But realistically, if the multiverse is the multiverse, then there could be loads of different storylines going on at the same time. But like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.